And we are totally live after being dead. Hi, Ray.
Hi, Meir. How are you?
Extremely good. I have my cigar, I have my coffee, I have tea. I'm in heaven.
That is perfect. I'm starting a watch party. Let me get the volume down. Okay, we are good to go.
So we have a watch party. That sounds good.
I like
what
that.
are we going to watch?
I'm asking people to watch us because we have some exciting things to talk about. but we could also, we could watch a Star Wars movie. I'm always down for some sci-fi.
Yeah, we need sci-fi. It's appropriate right now. What's going on?
Have you seen the show Space Force?
No.
Oh my gosh. It's so hilarious. It's with Steve Carell. It's only one season. You have to watch it. It's so good. So
okay,
good.
Okay, good. So what are we going to talk about, Ray?
Well, Meir, so I've been getting a lot of messages from students and just from general people that they don't understand what's happening in the world. Like there's so much chaos, violence, confusion, and people don't feel like they can even find the right source for news or information or what's true. And so it's like, even though something bad may be happening, no one knows what the bad thing is precisely. And you have like this chaos of viewpoints.
Okay, good. So let me explain how we got here. Okay.
Ooh.
I think that once people will understand how we got to where we got, they will actually be able to gain control over their feelings, because generally people are upset, and people are upset because things are not right, and I think that both sides a little bit going to the extreme. But let's see, why is it happening? The basic law is the following: when you agree to small lies, you will agree to big lies.
Okay, so what do you mean by that when you agree to small lies? Like, what's an example of a small lie?
You agree to a small lie. You saw, let me just turn this thing off.
So you agree to a small lie.
Yeah. So you walk around and you see that a politician says a small lie. You know, he say he will do something and then he's not. You agree to a small lie.
It's par for the course.
Yeah. You agree to a small lie, and then you will agree to a bigger lie and a bigger lie and a bigger lie. And then one day you will be the effect of those lies.
What do you mean by that?
I'll explain. The general thinking that goes by is like that. Small lie is small and it doesn't affect me. And if they will put this law or this thing that is based on a lie that I know it's a lie, it will not affect me. It will affect only the bad guys.
Okay, so
and I'm not.
So, like for instance, is a small lie like I
let me finish, because if I'll finish the idea, then you will see that you'll understand. Okay, but let me finish. Otherwise, it will be more difficult.
I'll try to behave.
Oh, I'll believe it when I see it. Okay. So a politician give you a small lie and you agree because you think it will not affect you. And then there's another lie and you think it will not affect you. And then there's another lie and you think it will not affect you. And one day the lie becomes so big that it will affect you. Now, it's not only from politicians. The news or the media give you a lie. And the lie is a small lie. They just say coronavirus is actually affecting the brain, damaging the brain. This is something that I saw today. A study found that coronavirus damaged the brain and may cause you to lose your sense of smell. Now that sounds bad.
Sounds bad, but it could be good. I don't know.
Yeah, but when you go and read it, actually, what you find that they found one case of coronavirus where it cause some kind of very temporary, few hours to a few days, change in the brain that they think cause for a very temporary loss of smell, but then it come back and it's not a problem. Now, no one actually, or most of the people don't read the whole article, and that just at the end they tell you that. So you get into this fear, the coronavirus is dangerous, it may hurt my brain, because most of the people just read the headline, and you get the feeling that everything is bad, and everything is bad, and everything is bad, and everything is bad. Why? Because you agreed to a small lie. And you will see that every problem we have right now started with us, the people, agreeing to a small lie, usually from the media, and politicians, media and politicians. But media is the body that actually destroy people. Why? Because media tells you all day long to be afraid, and when you're afraid, you become sick, you get stressed, you become more susceptible for getting diseases, because if you are stressed, you will get diseases more, even corona. Everything's fall down when you're stressed, and the stress comes from the media. So we as the people need to recognize that we should not accept any more small lies from the media that turns to be big lies.
So what's the process of spotting the lies, though? Because I feel like if you're exposed to any of these headlines, like I personally have stopped looking at the news because I feel like I can't trust. I talk to people, but I don't read it because I feel like there's so much agenda and unclarity.
Yeah. So what's the handling? First of all, you need to be able to recognize truth. And how do you recognize truth? When someone tells you something that just sounds bad, it's probably not true. Why? Because there's nothing in this universe that is no good in the bad. The things that are really bad are very remote. When someone tried to make you feel afraid, when someone tried to make you bad, he's trying to control you, and he is lying to you. 9/11, I remember this like yesterday. The headlines, at least 20,000 people will die or die. Big news. Now, 9/11 was a catastrophic event, but 3,400 people die, and each one of them is one too many, and it's not okay, but the media made it worse. Do you understand? The media make it always worse.
Which is why people don't trust them.
Yes, the people don't trust them, but we as the people must demand truth. No more small lies. No more lies. No more small lies. No more small lies. No more lies. And there should be a movement that hashtag no more small lies. No more small lies. And of course, no more big lies. So just no more lies, no more lies. Stop lying to us. We want to know what's really going on. This is our basic right. We want to know what's going on. And the lies are in every corner. For example, I heard this thing. The Prime Minister of Israel actually said that, Bibi, that if you love your family, stay away from them.
What?
Yeah, basically social distancing. If you love your family, if you love your friends, stay away from them. Love is keeping distance. No, it's a lie. Love is hugging. Love is kissing. Love is being together. And this thing, I've asked on social media, what is more important, freedom or health? And my son also asked that, and his wife also asked that. And generally, most people believe that health is more important than freedom. Now, if it's true, why do you ever go to a war? Why do people go out to the street? If it's true, let's put every person into a cubicle, totally protected, controlled, like in the Matrix, totally controlled. Your body will grow perfectly, no diseases, no germs, no viruses, no politicians, nothing. You are in a box, very, very protected, but no freedom. Will you want
Yes.
that?
I for sure would not.
I think no one will want it, and people that are afraid, actually choose health over freedom. It's better to die, but to die free. The only reason the slaves always break the chain is because it's better to die and die free. And the length of time that the slave stays a slave is the length of time that he believes that his immediate body is more important than his freedom. And he believed that because someone pushes him every day, someone hurt him every day, so he doesn't want pain anymore. He's afraid. So when someone makes you afraid, when the news makes you afraid, when politician makes you afraid, when anyone try to make you afraid, you need to know he lies to you, because fear is always and in perception. Fear, when you're afraid, you don't see. When you're afraid, you don't perceive. So what you're afraid of, obviously, is not there. Obviously, it's not there because you cannot see. So you need to be very aware. People that tells you to be afraid are not your friend. They should not be the source of your data. You should not listen to them. You should actually continuously put the hashtag no lies, no more lies, no lies, no lies, no lies. And we as the people should hold the media responsible for the lies. And this is becoming bigger and bigger. All of this fake news that they're changing videos, they're doing all of these things, is because we agreed to small lies. So now people making big lies. And when they do that, nothing happened. It's okay. Yeah. So they put it in, it's big noise for one day, and then there's the new noise, and that's it. Yep. Nothing happened. We, as the people, must know that someone that tried to make us afraid lied to us. Someone tried to control us, lied to us. Someone that do not try to make us happy. If the general effort is to give you good news and to prevent as much as possible bad news, that person is bad for you. These people that actually take any situation and make the news even worse than what it is, they are really, really not our friend.
I feel like a lot of people are doing that. Like, if you post anything upbeat on social media, hey, people are recovering, you get these people that come and they're like, they have like a terrible story about one person. It's like no matter what, there's this, no, it's really dangerous, it's really bad, you should be afraid. How can you say something's improving? You're irresponsible. Shame, 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 shame.
Yeah. The only irresponsible thing is to spread bad news. As much as possible, don't spread bad news, because bad news puts you in stress. Stress makes you stupid, makes you sick, makes you weak. So people under stress behave stupidly. You don't need to be a scientific, an engineer or a big scientist. Just look around. When your husband is stressed, he acts stupidly. Not the problem. You don't need to be like a genius to know that. All you have to do is look. When your children did not eat, they're under stress, they act stupidly. They're not your children at that time, or at least you hope they're not. Yes.
So what do we do? Because when I go out, there's obviously people that are not, but obviously the majority of the people I encounter are some either afraid or stressed, or they have this like look of the wide eye, like everything is coming at them, and I'm just like, wow, it makes me not want to go outside so much because I watch this upset state. So what do we do? Because
you communicate and communicate and communicate, and what we do right now, we need to do it more and more, and we need to share this thing and share and share and share, and realize that one person can make a big different. How? You just use yourself as an example. And you say, look, this is not okay. I went out today, okay? I went out to buy something, some LEDs that I needed. So I went to pick up my son, and we went through a shop. And when I went into the shop, by law, you need to have a cover. Okay, so I'm putting a cover. But my cover is a kind of scarf that is very, very thin with lots of holes and so on. And it's okay because it's allowed, any kind of cloth. So I'm going with that, and I go in and I start to talk to the person that helps me, and he's with this mask, and I tell him, do you know that this mask is terrible? He's telling me, yes, I'm not, because I'm with it the whole day. I'm getting home, I have terrible headaches. And I find that I'm working, this is only my third day at work because I worked last week 2 days and I had the weekend, and during the weekend I felt a little bit better, but today I came and I already have headaches, terrible headaches the whole day. And I'm sure it's from the mask because I never have headaches, never in my life. Now this is a young guy, 24, 25. Now we, the people, need to be a little bit smart, because I was watching what's going on. They have masks, they all have masks, and they have this thing that protect them. So I come with something. There was someone before me. He came up with something, and he takes this thing, and he give it to the lady, and the lady takes that thing, and she's holding it, and she's putting it on the surface. And of course, if there is any virus, it will go to the surface. And he put it on the surface, and it goes to the surface. And she put it in, she takes it, and she put like da-da-da, and she called another guy to help her with the machine, and the guy holds the machine. And within this 3, 4, 5 minutes, this whole area is contaminated.
Right.
And she's like, she wants to talk to the guy, and she cannot breathe. So she's doing that. She's removing it, but it's uncomfortable. So she's touching here, and she's doing that. And listen, it will move. Viruses go through they're so tiny that they go through anything. There is no way that mask will help you. They make you sick. It's not by mistake that the World Health Organization said that it's not going to help against corona or against any such thing. It's just going to make you sick. And because you will get sick, you will be more susceptible for corona. I have no doubt.
Me too.
Like, just think about what is breathing. Breathing is taking clean air, using it, and taking out the bad. So you're taking in something like an engine, take oil, burning it, and sending out the fume, which is dirty. It's terrible. It's CO2.
And you're keeping it.
They tell you, no. The best thing for you is to breathe CO2. The best thing for you is to... Now, if it was actually blocking or had the chance to block something, fine. I still don't think that it's right. But it's not even a remote chance that it will help. You, the people, need to not agree with lies. What does it mean? You still keep the law. I go out with a mask or whatever they agree as a mask, yes? The minimum that necessary, yes?
Yeah, I ordered
put something all open and it's nonsense, yes? So, but fine, I go out with the mask, but I talk to every person that I see with a mask and I ask them, how are they doing? I'm not telling them that it's wrong. I'm asking them, how do they do? Do they get headache? Do they feel better? Is it not a problem for you to be with that the whole day? And he says, woof, it's terrible. The lady there was sitting, so she had this mask on, the lady that was sitting on the till, and I see she's covered only up to here. So I told her, so why are you having the mask? She said, I have to. And I said, do you think it's protecting you? She said, I don't know, but I have to do that. I said, so if it is protecting you, why are you not covering your nose? She said, I cannot breathe. What do you mean you cannot breathe? I cannot breathe. It's too much. After 5-10 minutes, it's too much. And then I saw these people that go with this plastic in front. So I said, I asked the lady, why don't you use this plastic? She said, I've tried. It gave me such a headache. This thing is pushing here, gave me such a headache, and it got scratched, and I couldn't see anything. So it's nonsense.
Hey, I have
small lies. It's a small lie, yes, because it's not something like a big lie. It's a small lie that it's helping, but it's a big damage. And this small lie, you agree to mask, and then you agree to quarantine, or you agree to quarantine and then to mask, and then you will agree to a chip that they're already putting in Italy on children. They have a chip that is that tells children, the chip is not inserted to the body, but it's on the person, and they tell children not to get too close to each other. And the Prime Minister of Israel said that they are planning to install chips on children, first of all children, to keep them away from each other. What are you trying to create? Animals? Even animals get together despite the fact that they get sick.
I mean,
the biggest lie, we don't have pandemic. Pandemic is people dying in the street. Pandemic is like happened in the Black Plague. People dying in the street. There's things that you can see, everyone see. It's not somewhere that someone tell you that there's some people dying in some hospital. In average, if you take 500,000 people that will die, 1 million people that will die, divided by 300 countries, and you get nothing. You get 3,000 people per country. 4, 6, 5,000 people per country. It's nothing. Family, it's a lot for each person that died, but that's not an excuse to say that there's a pandemic. There is no pandemic. There is a virus. There's no pandemic.
Meir, when I was a kid, they had chicken pox parties. Like someone would have chicken pox, and they would send the kids there, which is another thing. I don't know that I agree with that either. But like that was the viewpoint on these different sicknesses, and now with this one, it's like the insanity of separating kids. How do you keep kids? Like, can you imagine I don't even know how you do that. And how are they going to grow up?
It's lies. You know, they have, in Israel, I'm following Israel very closely. So in Israel, it goes like that. So first of all, most kids don't even get any, they don't get affected by corona, but never mind. So it goes like that. Kids are with their parents. The parents bring them to the entrance of the school, but they're not allowed to go into the school. Now think about it. If you have, as an adult, if you have corona, then you give it to your kid. Then if you come to the school or not coming to the school, what's the difference? Now the kids are being kept separate and with masks, and they're going out. The moment that they go out, hugging, kissing, fighting, throwing balls, And now they said, no, there need to be a rule that the kids should not have balls and anything that they can transfer. They should not transfer toys between themselves. It's insanity.
It's people that don't even understand how disease, so it doesn't even make sense. The whole thing doesn't make sense to me. It's an insanity.
It's total insanity. Because when you actually look at history, you'll see that people were always insane in the way they handle things. I just saw today that Freud was using coke as the actual drug, as something that as something that he thought that was really, really good for him. Until he really, by the way, cocaine was sold in every pharmacy for like 5 cents.
Oh yeah, and opium too, I think.
Yes, and it's cocaine of opium because they thought that cocaine is an actual cure, and in some other places they thought that if they would drill a hole in the skull, it will cure you, and some other places think that if you take the blood out, you will be cured, and there's all kind of weird things that people done. And we think, no, but look, we're advanced. They also thought that they're advanced. If there is no result, you are not advanced. And since we did not handle the corona by any kind of quarantine, we are not advanced. Look, I'm looking at the countries next to Israel that have the same kind of number of people and climate, etc. And in Israel, there is, let's say, 500 people that die, and there is 6 or 7. Why? What's the difference? What's the difference?
The immune system, the health of the people?
The Israel health system is much better. So why? Because the hysteria is not there, and the counting is different, and that's it.
Yeah, the counting. Yeah.
In Israel, they're reporting every day, look, there's 200 more people, and now there's 3,000 more, and we doubled the in the past 3 days. Okay, and how many people did you tested in the past 3 days?
Yeah,
oh, no,
exactly.
Yes?
That's not the reason. There's such a...
So when you do a small lie, you will agree to a bigger lie. That's the basic idea, and you will see that all your problems without exception, you first agree to a small lie, and then you agreed that you have now a problem, which is the big lie. And the small lie is, I cannot do something about it. It starts with something small that you say, no, I cannot handle it. That stay open. And then you think, oh, I cannot do something about something bigger. And then you think, I cannot do something about something bigger. And then you are stuck.
This what you're talking about is one of the biggest takeaways that I've had from working with you for the last 9 months is like, whenever I feel like I spot myself saying, oh, that's hard, I'm like, wait a second, that's not true. I got this. And I just go and I do the thing. And because I catch myself whenever there's a little bit, because I realize that's such a slippery slope into everything's hard. I can't do it. Nah, just do it. Nothing's that hard. Like nothing's that hard.
The only thing that's hard is to work hard, not to do the things when they come your way. This is the only thing that's hard, because really when things come your way, if you simply decide that you'll do them, it will fit in somehow. Why? Because the technical reality is that you create time. And if you want to learn how, by the way,
oh yes,
Sunday, I'm going to do a free webinar. This is number 5.
4.
That's the 4. Okay, so that's the fourth one. But each one of them is independent. It's standalone. And in each one of those, I teach you for free, totally for free, the secrets of life. How to gain control over your life. And the results are unbelievable. People write to me continuously. Yeah. Today, the whole day, I've just handled the whole day from, I think I've started at 7:30 in the morning. And from 7:30 in the morning until about 2 hours ago, all I've done is answer people, and they want to know more, and they're telling me about the result and how their life changed here, and they've done this drill and it's changed there. And all day long, I'm dealing with, and which is good, people that are really, really, really happy, and they want the recording, and they want to see it again, and they want this and that and that. It's like just unbelievable. People after this after the past one, they were like, wow. But after this last lesson, people like, whoa, going crazy.
2 and 3 were really excellent. Like I recommend anyone that's watching this to watch the replays of like 2 and 3, because you really went deep on a lot of foundational things. It was amazing. I got tons of like, people are very happy. They want to share it with their family, because even though it's Yoga Sutras and the foundation behind it, it's so valuable and practical. It's not something esoteric and woo-woo.
Yeah, it's how this universe has been built. And if you know, you will have control. Anything that you know, you can control. You understand? Anything that you know, you can control. And when you don't know, you can be controlled, because then they can give you lies.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating.
Are you going to be addressing anything with lies and truth in the next one, or is there something that we can really look forward to? I mean, you definitely got into a very interesting subject in number 3 when you talked about the E word.
Yeah.
People like that.
So the next lesson, what I will do, I'm actually going to go into how you can bring about anything you want in your life, anything, but anything. And how can one person affect a whole society? How can one person, why some person affect thousands of people, some person hundreds of people, some person one or two, and some people are just being the effect of everyone. Whatever someone said, they're parroting what they heard. How can you stop parroting what you heard and form your own viewpoint, not opinion, viewpoint? Yes, how can you form your own viewpoint, and how can you make it effective so other people will accept it too?
So that's on this Sunday at 3?
It's on Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Europe at 9 p.m. Yeah. Europe
9
at
p.m.
9 p.m. 2 p.m. in Peru.
2 p.m. in Peru, wow. 10 p.m. in Israel. 2 p.m. in Chicago. So,
well, I'm super excited for it.
Quite amazing. It's going to be quite amazing, powerful beyond belief. And I really suggest that you will join. It will help you. And yeah, go ahead.
After we talked about today, is there any like 1 or 2 things that you can recommend people that they can just begin to do in their day-to-day life to get out of? Maybe they are afraid and maybe they don't know how to spot the lies. Is there anything like right now you can just say this 1 or 2 things?
Yeah. So when you worry about something, what I would suggest to you to do is to sit down and write what could be worse than that thing that you worry about.
What could be worse than what you're worrying about?
Yeah, because then you will see that there could be so many things that could be worse, that the situation is not so bad. That's number 1. Number two, I want you to look at all the times that you've been afraid and nothing happened. And you will realize that if I will be willing to give you a cent for every time that you were afraid or worried and nothing happened, you will become a billionaire and I will become poor. Yes? Because I'll have to give you all my money. Because 99.999999999% of the time, what you're afraid of do not happen. And actually, the only thing that you're afraid of, and that might be hard for you to accept at the beginning, but if you will look at that, you see that it's true. The only thing you're afraid of being afraid. Seriously, that's the only thing you're afraid of. You're afraid of being afraid. Because once something happened, you're not afraid anymore. Maybe you're in pain, maybe you're in anger, maybe whatever, but you're not afraid anymore, yes? So what I suggest is look at things and realize that they're not as bad as someone promote them. And if you're still afraid, just write down what could be worse than that. And in regards to all the violence that's happening right now, the only reason we have the violence is we agree to small lies and then bigger lies and bigger lies. And the basic lies someone have to agree to before he's going to war with someone is that his opponent is not a human being. Only the lie that people have to agree to before going to a war is that the other side is not a human being. You'll see they've said that on the Jews, the German says they are not human beings. They said that on black people, also the German and other people say that black people are not human beings. They said that on all kind of groups that someone did not want them to be around because they were too powerful or too many or too smart or too something, and they started to attack them. And now, once you agree to that, everything goes down, because you will think, well, they cannot be educated. They cannot be educated. Why they cannot be educated? Because they're not human beings. So you will not actually invest in them in education, and it will be okay for the government not to invest in them in education, because in any case they're not human beings. And now they themselves, the Jews or the black or the yellow or the purple, will start to agree secretly that they are not as smart, or they are not as good, that they're inferior. And once they agree that they're inferior, that's it. So don't agree to the small lies. And to get out of the small lies, you have to realize that in regards to this violence, that the lie is that the other side is not human being. Left or right, Democrat or anyone. It's not important which group you are in. You are, first of all, human being, and everything you do because you want to help the other side, and you really try to explain the other side. How do I know that everyone wants to help? Because they push so much that you will change your mind and stop being a Democrat, or stop being a Republican, or stop being this, or stop being that. They really push so much that they really try to help you, and they're getting upset that you don't want to get the help. This is really what's happening. Quite fascinating. So what you need to do is know and promote. Every time you see violence, just promote. This other guy is a human being. And you will see the guy that when they are in violence, they say, no, he's not a human being, he's an animal. No, he's not an animal. I've checked. That's not walk on four. He's not an animal. He has exactly the same feeling, the same. He's exactly like you. He's a human being. And the moment that someone realizes that the other side is a human being, he himself behave immediately differently. You don't need any force. You don't need laws. You don't need anything. You just need to show the other person that those people that they attack, they're human beings.
That's an amazing way to look at it, because that is what happens. We see them as an opponent or something to be attacked, and we forget that that's a being struggling and doing the best that they can in life from their viewpoint.
Yeah. So it's fascinating. It's quite fascinating. And then all you have to do is to look at the media and see how they're promoting it.
Yeah, the lies and the misleading headlines, and it's just like, I just started kind of tuning it out, and then every now and again I look, I'm like, okay, this is what's happening. But I read and I look, and you see, and you're like, you can spot it. But in general, it's like, it's not the frequency of hysteria. I've never been a big news reader, but now I'm just like, this is.
You see, when I look at this thing, I'm asking, okay, if I was a news reporter, I will ask myself, how does it help? How does it help to give everyone these terrible pictures?
Yeah. Why do they do that? Is it like, that's what
How does it help to a person in Tampa to know that there was a violence in Minneapolis? What? Why for? What for? If I was the news, I would say, well, there's some unrest in Minneapolis, but it will be handled. And after all, we are all human beings, and sometimes we get upset, and sometimes we do things that we are sorry for, and that's it. That's it. And this whole thing with the policeman that killed this guy, when I see that, I don't have all the data. It's not okay to kill anyone. It's not right. It's not okay to kill anyone. But if you go and now you do what things that happen to you, you put yourself down. It's not the handling. The handling is communication. The handling, yes, go and protest, but with no violence.
This is the thing.
Grow, protest, sure, but with no violence. Go and protest, and don't attack people that has nothing to do with that. Those people are maybe even your friend. You're attacking them.
Well, what's happening is that at night, there's like Antifa and other groups that are coming in, and they're doing the looting and a lot of the violence. It's not the protesters. A lot of the protests are peaceful, especially here in Miami. Last night I had 10 police outside in my street. Like, I took my dog out in my front yard to use the bathroom, and this cop is like screaming at me to get inside. There's nothing here. It's not dangerous. It's just there's a hysteria. And it's not from the protesters, it's from these other groups. And so they want to have a race war. So they're coming in and trying to get people to have the viewpoint that it is the protesters. So it's just like,
whatever this group is, if we all say, look, when something bad happens, and it's not okay, and it needs to be handled, 100%. Handled, I don't mean just say, oh, I'm sorry. But handled. We need to find out what is the lies that we agree to. And this need to be changed. Something basic need to be changed. Okay? And both sides have things to change. Both sides. Okay? And but there's no excuse for killing people. There's no excuse for brutality. There's no excuse. You don't need it, yes? But it's from both sides. So the protests need to be very continue the protest, but peaceful, because peace brings much more result than any war. Because what will happen at the end? Force will be met with more force, and more people will die, and eventually the thing will be killed by force, and nothing will happen. Nothing will really change. Yes, these guys will go to jail, and the policemen may go to jail or not, and I hope that they will get a fair trial and whatever. But it's not going to solve anything. What will solve things is communication, and on both sides, not agreeing to accept lies. So you continue and continue and continue, and you don't agree for the small lies. First of all, don't agree for the small lies, because it's easy to handle the small lies.
People don't talk the small lies. This is the thing, is like, no one know this. The idea of being able to see them, that's new. That's new. People don't know small lies, like all of these little things. A lot of their life has so many small lies that it's a really big thing to confront, to begin to actually look at it in all the ways that they're.
Yeah, but there need to be a change of viewpoint. There need to be a change of viewpoint. We don't accept small lies, not from ourselves, and not from the government, and definitely not from the media. So if I'm telling a small lie to someone, okay, the effect is smaller. It's not okay. It shouldn't be. But the effect is smaller. I have less of effect, okay? If I'm the media, if I'm CNN, and I promote a small lie, the effect is huge. If I'm the president and I'm saying a lie, the effect is even bigger. Now, I'm not saying that the president lie or this lie or this lie. I'm just saying we, the people, should not accept small lies. Don't wait for the big lies. Don't wait for a case like that when there is like a big lie now. There is a big lie that the police is against a certain group of people, and the second group of people is against the police, and it's a big lie. It's a big lie. And to undo this big lie, all we have to do is each one of us make a decision and promote. We don't accept small lies anymore. And when we find a small lie, we call it and we say, hey, that was a lie. Not okay. We don't punish you. We don't anything. We just put it, look, it's a lie. And we don't appreciate it. And that's all. You don't need more than that. And you do it again and again and again and again. And the other side, all of a sudden, will use you as a good example, and he will want to become like you. Did you notice that you want to become like those people that are more like seems to be, or they are more ethical, more powerful, more you want to become like them, they inspire you. That's what a leader should be, inspiring.
Mhm.
So you look at South Africa and people want to be like Mandela. He's like, wow. You look you look at history and you see these people that was they didn't lie. They simply did not lie. They just kept saying the truth, kept saying the truth, kept saying the truth, and they didn't waver. And you see those people make the biggest change, more than all the generals combined. Because the truth is much stronger than any bullet.
Wow.
So let's put some of the comments here. Please, in Los Angeles, the virus of civil unrest is yes.
What?
Yes.
What? What are the comments?
They purchase protesters and Yeah, probably it's true. Probably it's true. Probably it's true, and I believe. But if I can blame them until tomorrow, what can I do? You understand? When I blame someone, how does it help me? When I blame someone, it doesn't actually solve the problem, which means that probably what I say is not really the truth. It's not solving the problem. What will solve the problem if each person will say, okay, good, we don't accept any more lies, and we just demand the truth. We don't use violence, but we don't stop until we find the truth. And we want to make sure that we, the people, are not being lied to, first of all, by the media.
Yeah.
Because the source of the problem is the media. And the media should have very clear rules that they should minimize to maximum the bad news. And they should maximize.
They have a rule that's the other way. They blow up all bad news.
I know, but it's not okay. It's a lie.
I agree. It's not okay. It's making people sick. I mean, today I was talking to one of my students and her family. They're totally in a panic, totally, and like they're getting like actual like brain problems because they've been afraid and stressed out for so long, and they're afraid to go to the hospital to figure out what's wrong. And that's going to be one of my next phone calls. Is what
the basic should be people should really get into this thing of, we don't agree that the media will be a mongering agent. No more. We don't want that. We don't want that. We want the media to be responsible. So there should be a demand by people that if the media did something, said something that will be proven to be false, and they need to take responsibility for it because the damage is huge. If the media come and say there will be 20,000 people, the estimation is that there will be 20,000 people. Don't say the estimation. What for? Once there is a proof, once you have an actual data, the media should give data, not opinion. The media should put out data, facts, proven facts. And if they give false opinions that proven to be false, that there was no base in facts, they should be held responsible. And before this change in viewpoint will not come about, the media will continue to be irresponsible. The media should become responsible. The media must be responsible, and politicians and people.
So what do you recommend that people do? Should they write to the local news? What should the feedback look like? So
it should be go online, put groups together. No more lies by the media. No more lies by the media. No, media don't lie. The media should not lie. The media should not lie. And demand, write to your representative. I demand that the media will stop lying. We need to put some kind of laws. And if you don't want to put laws, we, the people, will not watch the media.
But that's what I do. I just had to stop because I spend all the time trying to spot the lie, and I'm like, I got better things to do.
Yeah, we, the people, will not watch the media. And you need to, and it needs to be, look, we want you to talk as much as you want, as much as you want. We're not trying to shut your mouth. But you as the media have a higher responsibility to give me, as a media, yes? As a person, I can say whatever I want. I think A, I think B, blah, blah, blah. This is my thoughts. And I'm just thinking I'm not an official person. But the media is an official body. The moment that you become someone that affects millions, you have a responsibility to report the truth and not opinions. You need a verifiable data. You need a verifiable data. You really need, and your general intention should be to improve the well-being of people, not to worsen the well-being of people. And you improve the well-being of people, but by good news. Don't drive after, I don't know, ambulances. Drive after weddings. Don't go and look for bad news. Don't go and look for bad news. And if there is bad news, give the exact data and also find the good about it, because there is no bad without good. So if I said there was 20 people died yesterday, but there was 2,600 baby born, and we saved 6,000 people from this, and we transport, so 200 people died in car accidents in the last year, but we transported 3 billion people. So percentage-wise, it's 0.00001, and this is smaller than last year. Percentage-wise, from the overall number of population. Now, if someone tell you that 300,000 people die from the coronavirus, and he doesn't tell you how many people die per year worldwide. Do you know how many people die per year worldwide? If you don't know that number, then these 300,000 people mean nothing. How many people die from cancer? How many people die from pneumonia? How many people die from flu? How many people die per year? If you don't know this number, if they don't give you that, they lie. Because you cannot give a piece of data without the data of comparable magnitude. So you can compare, because if I say 300,000 people die, is it a lot or is it little?
Depends. Depends on what
it depends to what you compare it. It depends. How many people died from pneumonia and flu in the last year? How many people, what percentage of people is 500,000 people?
Out of 7 billion? Not very much.
Out of 7? It's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. How many people born versus how many people die? Are we growing in number or are we shrinking in number? Before I see that we're shrinking in number, we're not even close to a pandemic. Before I see that we're shrinking in numbers, we're not even close to a pandemic. Because for us to start to shrink, we need to have few million people dying per year. Do you understand? It's not happening. It's not happening. Few million extra, I mean, not few million, just few million. Few million. So the number of people that die have to be at least few million more than the number of people that born. And before this is happening, no problem. And right now it's the opposite.
I know.
Right now we have more people that born, and it's wonderful and excellent. And instead of just giving you a number, you demand, don't give me a number. It's illegal. It should be illegal to give part of the picture.
I totally agree with you. But when the beginning, when all this happened, comparing it to something like the flu got rabid attacks. So now I see that comparison is a little bit more socially acceptable. But I personally I realize that people are in such a bad condition. They're trapped at home. They're very upset. I stopped discussing a lot of this stuff because I was like, wow, even this like triggers them. And I just started posting uplifting content and sharing this because at a certain point, everyone's going to have a look at this. We can't stand lockdown forever. Like they just can't. It can't be.
No pandemic. No, there's not one virus that has been handled by quarantine. There is no pandemic. Pandemic is when 50, 100 million people die. This was a pandemic, yes? But we didn't see something even close to that.
No.
And even if they take the worst insane estimation, it wouldn't happen. And they could see within a month that it's not happening, because with lockdown, what they say is that they're trying to flatten the curve. Really? You spend so much money by not working, and you cannot put enough. What if you have right now a war? Let's say World War. How many people will die? Hundreds of thousands? More? Yes. In the first 2 months, with the weapons that we have right now, what do you think? There will be no beds in hospitals? Of course there will be. Why? The army will put together. The military will put together hospitals, and I saw hospitals in Israel in the military being put together in a matter of a half a day, and you put many of those things, and wonderful. And before I will see people dying or lying in the corridors and in the parking lot of hospitals and in tents and all over the city, there's no pandemic. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's 100% lie. And you, the people, need to just look and stop being afraid. And I know it sounds weird, but your chance of dying from heart attack, from lightning strike, from pneumonia, from falling in the street is bigger than your chance of dying from coronavirus.
Yeah, but now we have such a bigger problem in this country. 40% of people lost their jobs. I just was looking the other day. A third of the bubusinesses are not going to reopen. Restaurants, yoga studios. It's just like,
You
I don't think people have realized.
You agree to a small lie. Small lie to be in quarantine. The quarantine will help you. You agree to a small lie. There will be more lies. Because now they're printing money and they're bankrupting everyone, yes?
Yeah.
Not by mistake. Not by mistake. So you, the people should say, I don't agree with quarantine. I am not agreeing with the quarantine. I would keep it, but I would not agree. You'll make big noise over social media. You will do, I don't agree. Every person should say a million times, no more lies. I don't agree with quarantine. I don't agree with something that kills me slowly. If I need to die, let me die.
Well, that's the thing that people have, like a lot of people I've talked to, they can't realize that when people lose their job, they lose their business, they lose their home. We have, after the next month, people are going to be getting evicted who haven't paid rent. So we're going to have a whole lot of homeless people. It's like, and then how do you solve this? The country's bankrupt and people are totally hysterical. So it's such a, I'm like looking around me and I can't believe that people believe this.
Okay, so unfortunately we are almost at an hour, and it's telling me that we have 1 minute and 28 seconds to finish.
Oh boy, we got chatty. Okay, so come Sunday, meirezra.com/yoga. It is amazing. It is amazing.
And if you have comments, if you want to ask me questions, follow me on Instagram, Meir Ezra Official. Follow me and ask me any question you want. You can send me a private message. I answer always. I always answer, and I'll give you answers that you probably will not like, but that will help you. So if you want something that will help you, write to me on any subject, and I will be very happy to answer and help you. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Amit and Swapna, for helping us setting this thing up. Thank you to Shamaya in the background that's running the whole show, and we are just puppet of Shamaya. And thank you for everyone for listening, and mostly thank you for Gali, my son that helps me with everything. He sometimes even helps me to breathe. No, I'm joking. Okay, the time is up. Thank you. Bye-bye. Mwah. Thank you.